Hello there, dear YouTube friends. In this video, we'll be looking at another Figma tools that is really helpful and really um, the most necessary tools that we would like to address today is called Gradient. So Gradient is actually, let me just give you a simple uh, explanation, just a simple explanation, just to let you know that gradient is basically is nothing more than just a transition between one color to another color. For example, let's give an example here. So just okay, this is the I just said that gradients is actually, are actually transition between one, two more colors between of them. So let's get to an example. A simple example would be like just simple as like this. As you can see here, this is the color. As you can see at the bottom color here, there's some green here, and then as you go up, right, you'll find that the color is actually gradually changing into a blue color over here on top here. So this is the basic idea of gradient. So let's give another example here. As you can see here from this particular side, it starts from kind of look like a purple here, and then there's the middle here that's kind of look like a like a blue here, and then at the end of the here it becomes like very light blue here. So as you can see here, this color is actually being gradually transitioning into this color. So that's the whole idea of gradient. So this so and I would like to address the fact that gradient is indeed one of the, how to say, the most important, one of the most important way to showcase, to actually to utilize inside your UI. So the reason is that just to give a good modern feel to your UI that you are currently working on. So let's get to a simple example that you usually will be finding in almost all the platforms. There are people are actually adopting, UI UX designers are actually adopting uh, gradients as their background for almost every single web pages. Okay, let's go to a simple example here. As you can see here, this is just a simple, very basic uh, landing page header UI, and as you can see here, they are being gradient is being adopted as the, how do you say, the like 90% of the header. Yeah, around 85% would do. Okay, but the idea is, as you can see, gradient is the gives a huge how do you say, like a impression towards your, because it's aesthetically impressive, as well as it will be able to it'll like elevate your design, by the way. So let's get to another example. And as you can see here, this is just another example where they have used some gradients here. This is called a mesh gradient here. So mesh gradient is even more like a, how do you say, it's like another hybrid, like a children of a gradient. So but then we are just gonna cover gradient in this particular course here, in this particular video. Just gonna show how to get started with simple gradient. So that's the whole idea of this whole course is gonna be about. And last but not least, let me just go to another example here. As you can see here, there's also this particular web page, the 95, like almost 100% of this particular web page is being filled with gradient background. So that's the whole idea of gradient. So the basic idea of this particular video is just, I would like to just give you an exposure, just so that you are able to start utilizing Figma, utilizing gradient in Figma in your next design. So with that said, I would like to jump to my Figma canvas. And there you go. This is the simple Figma canvas. I just created a new file here. And right now I'm exactly inside the Figma. I just created a Figma canvas, which I just created here. So speaking about gradients here, so gradient is basically, it's a tool, by the way, where you can actually just use it to fill up your space, fill up your frame, for example. Okay, let's just start with, just go to this particular frame tool here and just click on frame, and then what you can do here, you can just pick our own resolution that we would like to use. For example, let's say for desktop, I'm just going to use a simple web desktop UI, and I'm just going to make sure that I have filled the whole desktop with gradient. So that's the basic idea of this particular example. So let's go and just pick a simple random UI, frame here. I think I'm just going to call desktop, because desktop works for most of the cases for when you are designing web UI. So that's it. This is the first start here. This has always been the first step, which is to create a frame as usual. The next thing is that let's go to this particular this side menu on your right hand side here. Next thing you can do, you can just go to this particular fill section, and inside fill section you can actually just click on this color. Yeah, once you have clicked on the color, you will be having this color, which is a solid color, by the way. See, as you can see, this is like there's no transition, right? Because there's only solid, and there's only one single color that will be existed. That will be like the one that will be used. Okay, so just gonna keep it white. So this next thing is that we need to go to gradient here. Sorry, instead of solid, we can choose any of this, by the way. First of all, let's go with the linear. So linear is basically you can find that's like the color is being changing from one side to the other side in a straight direction. That's the whole idea of linear is basic. The basic idea of linear is, so as you can see here, this is the one that decides the color. For example, as you can see, this thing starts with white, solid white, and then it transits the next color it goes to. It's actually a color that is not white, but then it is white, by the way, but then it's like the opacity has been decreased. As you can see, the opacity went to 0, by the way. But in this case, I wanted to give 100, by the way. Just going to give 100, so that from white solid to white solid. So there's nothing much to explain here. So what happens if I just click here and then just choose another color like this? So as you can see here, this is the idea. It basically is being utilized here, the gradient idea. So as you can see, the white colors actually transits from this part of the site, to red. So that's the basic idea. So let's change this white color to blue, like this. And there you go. You got yourself a simple, good-looking, gradient UI. Okay, this is just a simple, basic idea that you can start with. So if you like to have more colors in between just two of them, let's say if I like to have like even more vibrant gradient where you'll be including more colors in between red and blue, let's give it like a green. Is that looks fine? I'm not sure. Just gonna add one more color here. Okay, so you can see I just clicked on this particular color. Just clicked. I didn't do anything. Just clicked here, and then there's another new section, another new color section just popped out of nowhere. So what I can do, just gonna click on this. It's already been selected, and I want to go to this particular green here. I know it doesn't look good, by the way. Let's just change it and just make it a better color. By the way, yeah, you can just like this. So as you can see here, when you use more than two colors, it will look more vibrant here. But then let's not choose a very drastic color changes. Let's just pick something within the range of red. For example, red, orange, and yellow. So in this case, I'll pick red here as the default one. And the next thing is I would like to also have it next thing is I would like to have the middle one to be orange. Yeah, something like this. Yep, orange. The next thing is the third one is I would like to have it yellow. So what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna pick this color within just the range of one particular color. For example, red is actually the one that starts, and then there's orange, then there's yellow. So I'm just like picking up colors that are within almost, they're not very drastic to each other, but they are like actually able to be in the same range. So as you can see here, what I just did here, I just made a simple gradient, and just gonna make it red, and just gonna make it yellow, just gonna make it orange. So as you can see here, this is the basic idea of gradient that you would like to able to use in your next UI UX designs. So this is just a simple example with linear. So linear is just of course it's the most common gradient tool among the other stuff. For example, radial, angular, and diamond. So let's give it like another example. Let's go for another new set of colors. Let's go for green, light blue, and blue. Okay, that would work really well. So let's go for the darkest color, which is the red here. I would like to go, I want to change it to blue. Next thing is this particular, I mean center, I would like to make it light blue. That's good. And this one I would like to have it green, by the way. Just gonna make it like this. So as you can see here, the color blue in the middle is actually like, looks like a straight line. What you can do, you can just pull it to the center. Just pull it like this and pull it like this, and there you go. And you can actually just make it like this, something like this. Okay. Okay, there you go. You have another set of new color, which is just gonna make it like this. Just gonna make it okay. That's perfect. Okay, so this is another set of color combinations that you can actually try. Give it a try, and there you go. It looks perfectly nice. And this is just a simple example that I just showed you, was just using linear as the gradient. So there's also other examples of gradient. For example, there's linear and then there's radial. So radial is basically, it comes in, it's a circle of, it comes in circle, by the way. But usually gradients, I mean when it's radial, we don't actually use more than one color, or else it won't look nice. For example, I'm just gonna make it this color to go away and then this color to go away. And what I can do here, I'm just gonna make this color to be green, and I'm gonna create another color called, yeah, with a light blue. Okay, so what you can see here is that the green in the middle is the one that becomes the center point for the beginning of the color. And the straight line here is actually pulls the color out of the screen, from the center of the screen, or from the center of the circle of this particular radial gradient. So that's the difference between radial and linear, because linear is just a straight line, radial is in a circle. So next, let's look at angular, by the way. So as you can see here, for angular, I mean the name of angular, you're actually just making these changes based on a particular degree that is being controlled by this particular angle. So there's a specific angle you can give. For example, let's say, yeah, like this. So this is just a simple color combination which I just gave, which will actually look nice if you just have it placed like this or something like that. Okay, now let's look at our last, which is diamond. So diamond is basically, it's in the name of it itself. So diamond is basically the shape of the diamond, and the color is actually the other colors that you would like to have it outside of the, okay, something like this. So just gonna make it like something like this, and yeah, I think we are done. So as you can see here, all these gradients are really helpful for your UI UX design, and the most commonly used is of course linear, because linear is the one that actually you are able to make the most common way, the most common among UI UX designers. Okay, I think that's all for me, I guess. And this is the end of this particular course, which is gradient. And thank you guys for watching this video until the end, and hope we'll be meeting in another Figma mastering tools in another YouTube video, where of course I'll be explaining to you guys about more on how you guys can improve your skills and your talent and your designing level skills, professional skills, and which will be able to make your career or your designing lifestyle would become more perfect and more more enjoyable, because you are able to learn more stuff from this particular courses. And yeah, that's all for me, and let's meet in the next particular video, where I'll be teaching you guys another similar Figma tools, which is also will be really helpful for your next UI UX designings. So thanks, we'll meet again, bye.